I used to live down here in the southern part of your state long time ago when I was a little boy. Down there in the very, down there around Palm Springs area. Back before there was any golf courses or grass. Back at that time, we were the first people in Thousand Palms, the first people in Thousand Palms to have grass in our yard. They thought we were crazy.
Roger on that, man. Well, doggone it. Hey, what are you talking on over there? It's a pretty smooth sounding radio there.
What I've done is I've took four 6146Bs, made a little grounded cathode amplifier, and I'm modulating the plates in the screen with a 100-watt Radio Shack public address amplifier, feeding that off of a little Radio Shack mixing board, and about a $40 Radio Shack microphone. And I'm using a Flex 1500 hybrided up with the power amp section of an old ICOM 745 as my receiver and VFO exciter for the amplifier transmitter deck. And talking on a homemade ground plane about 30 foot in the air.
Yeah, roger on that. Well, doggone, it sounded good. Sounded real good. Yeah, I'm just talking on a 2995. RCI 2985. But I'm kind of doing the same thing, just modulating the finals. Just using the radio to key it up. But, yeah, matter of fact, man, I had got a Flex radio on the way. Well, not a Flex radio. I'm going to use some of that soft rock. I'm going to use some of that soft rock. I want to play around with that a little bit there. Forte?
Roger that. Yeah, this is the first SDR I've had anything to do with. I bought it back, oh gosh, early last summer, I guess it was. And of course, you know, they're just a little 5-watt rig and you know, ham bands only. So I married it up with the power amp section off of an old ICOM 745, a 1980s vintage rig. Solid state 100-watt output, 100-watt power amp section. Of course, you know, it's got a pre-driver, a pair of drivers in push-pull, and then a pair of finals in push-pull is what the little amplifier deck consisted of. And that makes the Flex, you know, your basic like 150-watt radio that way. And like I say, made a hybrid out of them, and that's what I use for my receiver, and then it's the VFO exciter for the transmitter. Man. Well, like I say, little transmitter is nothing special. 46146Bs and a real standard grounded cathode configuration. You know, real crude, old school, simple stuff.
Yeah, roger. Psycho Heisen. Yeah, man, yeah, I got one of those 100-watt amplifier Radio Shack gigs, too. I used to run my old Johnson on that. I used to use it also for my Cobra 2000, too. Used to use it for my Cobra 2000. And take that to light that thing up, the audio in it. But, yeah, well, that thing sounded good. It got you on the video gate, too. Rolling a video gate on you. I'll put it up on YouTube, and you can give it a listen. Think you'll like what you hear there, Roger?
Cool deal. Appreciate that. Sure do. I really never get to hear it. I'm just guessing at what I'm doing, you know. Listening to it in headphones off a monitor meter and guessing from there. You know, that's played. If somebody don't tell you what they hear and don't know what they're hearing, you're just guessing. But, yeah, it's funny you said that. When I first bought that old PA amp, that's exactly what I bought it for, was to modulate my old Johnson Viking 2.
Yeah, I ran that off my old Valiant. Ran it off my old Valiant there. Ran it on the Valiant. Sounded good too, man. Everybody loved the sound of that thing. I'm using Pro Tools. I use Pro Tools. I used to use a lot of rack gear, but kind of really dig them Pro Tools. Kind of everything to one piece there. I'm using a RE20 microphone going into Pro Tools straight into the modulating the finals on this radio, Roger?
Roger that. I understand the arrangement, sure do. Yeah, I've never tried any of that for the computer yet. I probably eventually will, but excuse me, bang into the microphone, trying to cover my mouth. I'm real big about trying to make use of what I've already got. I'm a recycling nut. That's why I tell people this is recycled radio from the Razorback. The whole transmitter's recycled everything. Or, well, what I call the transmitter deck. Other than the glass, which I bought new several months back, but I built it around some old glass. And every piece in it's recycled, and a whole lot of it's stuff from the 40s even. I've got pieces in there from a 1943 Holocrafters receiver. That's where my tube sockets came from. And the two insulators, I've got my coil for the output tank mounted too on the chassis. And about the newest thing in it's something of 60s vintage, other than the solder and the glass. And I'm real big about, I sat here and I say, all right, what have I got? What can I do with it? What have I got? What can I make out of it? What can I make it do? What can I do with it I haven't done with it before? What's a different way I can make use of it? And that's how I amuse myself. And the audio gear was what there was available sitting here on hand. I said, all right, what can I do with this? So that's the only reason I'm running what I'm running in that respect as far as that stuff. It's what there was. I just wanted to see what I could do with it. But I'll tell you what, if I get my hands on another one of them old MPA 125 PA amps, I'd buy 3 or 4 or 5 of them just to keep around. That has been one of the most durable, reliable, dependable damn things. I've just tortured it. I'll run it just hot as fire. You know, for years on Saturday night, I key down to play 2 hours of blues. I've been doing it for a long, long time. I don't do it every Saturday night, but I don't miss very many, although I'm missing way more than I used to. And that thing's been doing that for, 12, 14 years. You know, they get pretty warm. And the rig I used to have took about everything it had to modulate it. Now, this rig here, you know, I'm sitting here talking to you, and very rarely do I see it get right on up there, maybe around 80 watts of drive into it. Most of the time, you know, it's hovering down there around 60-ish or so. But it used to be, God, I'd run that thing so hard. Of course, I'd put a fan on it, just gets stupid hot. But I don't know how I survived it. Like I said, I'd buy 3 or 4 more of them just for backups if I could find good used ones. I've never stumbled across one. I suppose someday I need to get somebody to spend time, do a serious eBay hunt for me and see if I can pick up a backup. I'm going to feel bad when it finally dies. I don't know what I'll replace it with. I've tried a couple others, and they don't match up with my mods transformer.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, that's what I got, the MPA 125. You ain't gonna believe this, but I got it at a garage sale right across the street from me, about 3 houses down. Guy had a bunch of stuff out there, and that thing is brand new. I'm talking not one scratch. It still looks brand new. And I think I gave him $30 for it. He told me $30. I said, well, what's wrong with it? And he said, there's nothing wrong with it. He said, I used it for something, and I just don't need it anymore. Well, I didn't even try to bicker with the man. I just handed him $30. Yeah, this thing's like brand new, 100 watt. It says right there, 100 watt, nice little BU meter right there, green, and yeah, it's the MPA 125. I really like that thing. I've used it for everything. I've very durable. I never get into it. It's a clean amplifier.
Yeah, I've never had to touch it. I run off the 70-volt output on the back, you know, feeding the transformer. And, I'll tell you what, a few months back, the panel light in the meter finally burned out. That's the first thing that went wrong with it in all these years. The panel light finally burned out after 12 or 14 years at least. I'm not even sure when I bought it. It's been quite a while ago. But, yeah, I'd stand and hand somebody $30 all day long for a pile of them if I could find good ones. It's just a good, you know, a good, usable, little general-purpose audio amplifier. and reasonable distortion. It don't have real bad, doesn't have a real bad noise floor, a lot of hiss in it. Considering, I mean, what it is, it's just a PA amp. Yeah, it's been a real faithful modulator for me. I've been using it for a long time.
Yeah, Roger on that. Well, I made this video. You can see your meter, your audio coming in here, but I gave you a little sneak peek on this video. I just showed you. I just showed my my little amplifier so you can see how clean that thing is. All right, my friend, I didn't catch your 28 out there. I'll put it down here so you can find this on YouTube there.
Call me 745, the old kdog, kdog. Recycled radio from the Razorback. Poor boy technology, Mud Duck Central. Quack, quack.